have a surprise for you, V.
A new backpack? Thanks, Papa.
Here's a little gift to take to your teacher on your first day.
Ooh, a snapdragon. Thanks, Mama. That's Poppy.
Don't forget your lunch, darling. It's your favorite. Black jumping beans with my secret spooky sauce.
Thanks.
Goodbye, darling.
Good fun!
Come on, V. We'll show you where our classroom is. V? Right. A new classroom. At a new school. With new kids. In Pennsylvania. Uh-oh. I think V's got butterflies in her stomach about her first day of school. More like spiders in my stomach. Just don't do anything weird and you'll fit right in. Don't worry,
Just
V.
to show
It'll be
you.
great. Trust me. There's nothing to be nervous about.
See?
Except breaking the
Police
ice
using
cream
smartphones.
or the lunch
I'm
room
trying to
running
tell
out of
people.
pizza right before you get to the front of the line, or raising your hand to go to the
Clear
bathroom
and
right when the teacher's
police
asking
use
for
smartphones
volunteers
as
to
treasure
finish the
trove
whole
of
school.
evidence.
I'm feeling
That's an
nervous
invasion of
now,
privacy.
but probably not as
New York
nervous
Times
as
sources.
It's okay, V. Just think. You already have friends.
New York Times sources understand that the law enforcement requests for information from Google's mobile location history database, known internally as SensorVault, have risen sharply in the last 6 months. While the exact volume isn't apparent, there have been as many as 180 requests in a single week. In some cases, the demands are particularly broad and may scoop up data from hundreds of phones, albeit with limits. Well, didn't I see something like this on there? Hold up. Just to show you guys, though. There it is. Okay. So let me check something else. How do I do this? Yeah. See this? I got measles. Measles parties are a terrible idea. So it's like, you see these fucking people? Like they're so full of disease that they know it's better to make this measles parties where they bring the children around the measles because it's safer to have measles when you're a child, right? All right. Let's not. But oh, I gotta see how to stop that. Let me see this thing here, man. Come on, load. What was it? Was that in my? Was that in the, I don't think so. What was the name of it? I can't find it. I'm gonna have to find it, man. I just saw it though. I just saw it. There's somebody talking about. Maybe it's in here. What's this now?
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's
You don't want to
show.
know
I
what
couldn't
was
pass
found on McDonald's
doing
self-service
this video after
screens.
hearing the story. For obvious reasons, we've all talked about McDonald's many times over, from what really is in the food. You know, people have seen documentaries like Super Size Me and all this just awful stuff that comes from McDonald's. The comedy that comes from McDonald's, such as them pretending to have health menus and offering salads, to the videos that I've done talking about the wrappers, right, and some of the stuff that's been found in the wrappers. Well, this story was just too funny to pass up on, and as you can see from the title, Oh crap, you don't want to know what was found on McDonald's self-service screens. Now from that title, if you can't tell what it's alluding to, I'll tell you in a second, but for those that don't know, McDonald's now has self-service screens, which means you go into McDonald's, instead of going up to somebody and ordering whatever poison you want to order, hey, 2 hamburgers, and a Coke or whatever, a Big Mac.
Wow.
Now you have to do it through a machine when you go into the store, as if they're not eliminating. I mean, people even see how they're just easily eliminating jobs and employment, and they're replacing everything with machines and robots. But nonetheless, you guessed it. What was found on McDonald's self-service screens? Feces. Bacteria found in feces was found on McDonald's touchscreens, as this article says. And it's probably in your coffee and on your phone, experts tell these news outlets. Now you might say, well, how in the world would somebody figure this out? Well, in Britain, a researcher, a quote-unquote senior lecturer at London Metropolitan University, his researchers and him went to 11 McDonald's restaurants in London and took swab samples from...
So yeah, I'm back now. I found what I was looking for. Now, I remember I was telling you about okay, well, remember this. This is 16 hours ago. Google faces surge in police requests for mobile location data, right? Okay. Now, this is what I want to show you this. I want to show you. You can pause it and go here or go back to the, I think just search that. Google faces surge in police requests for mobile location data, and you'll see this this article come up where New York Times is the source. Let me just show you this. That's 16 hours. That's yesterday, right? Okay, so this one here. Where's my tabs? Here's one. Look at this. Crap.
Whether you're here, or at one of these, it doesn't matter. This can find you. The common name, Stingray. Technically, a cell site simulator. First developed for military use, it's made its way into local law enforcement. It can track a person down to the room they're in if they have their cell phone on them. Stingrays turn these into homing devices, and that's just the beginning.
These are tracking devices. This is emitting a signal. This is GPS.
Mike Mino with the North Carolina branch of the ACLU has been watching the spread of stingrays for years.
It's my understanding that the software that a lot of these devices use is capable of capturing things like your text messages, the numbers you're calling and receiving calls from. We know for sure they're getting people's location.
Here's how it works. Cell phones are always trying to connect to nearby cell towers. A stingray acts like a cell tower decoy. In what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, it tricks cell phones into thinking it's the nearest cell tower. Phones connect to the stingray, and police can access a range of personal information. But they don't just get intel on one phone. Every phone nearby is forced to divert to the stingray. Calls are passed on to a real cell tower. Data scooped up stays with police.
When you ask them why they're using it, they'll say, well, we're targeting certain individuals. But the nature of the technology is so expansive that you cannot use this without countless innocent people having their data captured as well.
The I-Team has learned at least 3 law enforcement agencies in the Triangle have been using cell site simulators, but they don't like to talk about it and may not be allowed to.
These two purchase orders show Raleigh and Durham police bought variations of the Stingray within the last 10 years.
Violation of
Raleigh's
privacy.
purchase order, obtained by the I-Team 2 years ago, shows the department paid more than $120,000 for the device. Separate documents obtained by the ACLU show Durham spent nearly twice that. In spite of those purchase orders, both departments claimed not to be using one when the I-Team asked recently. Raleigh says they stopped using theirs because of outdated technology. With the Stingray, though, secrecy is part of the deal. Durham's contract with the device's manufacturer includes a strict non-disclosure clause, not just about the Stingray, but about the agreement itself and its subject matter.
There is such secrecy around this, and I think it's because it's so powerful.
I have a cell site simulator, and we do use it.
Wake Sheriff Donnie Harrison is the only current law enforcement officer we could find here or elsewhere willing to talk even a little about the device and how it's used.
It's a very useful tool that we use, not only for the bad guys, but for looking people that are lost, looking people that say they're going to commit suicide. Sometimes we have used them for children that's missing that have phones. And basically, that's all all I'm going to say about it.
That's probably the
Harrison
only
told us
good thing
Wake
about it.
County has had a cell site simulator since 2008. He insists they're always within the law and always get a warrant first. But there's very little public documentation of those warrants or of the use of Stingrays in general here or in any of the cities in which we looked.
But no, we don't like to talk about it. You know, when a general goes in battle, he doesn't give out his battle plans.
It's the classic question, safety or privacy? Law enforcement will tell you these things get bad guys off the street and help good people out in the meantime. Critics say we just don't know, and we don't, by design.
As long as we do it lawfully, I don't care what people say. My job is to keep people safe.
The public needs
Lawfully.
to know more. I think this is something that the courts need to know more about.
Nothing lawful
there are
about
real
you.
questions about whether a technology that soaks up innocent people's data can be used constitutionally.
Well, here you guys have it. Okay? Here you guys have it. So, the smartphones, huh? Guys like all these smartphones, all these new technologies, when it's for naught. The phone is a phone. It doesn't need to be a high-tech radiator. And it's just that. It's a radiation. It's got, we all know from even the very first cell phones, they have radiation in it, just like a microwave. It is a relay, as you saw it relay. So just as it can call out to the Stingray box, the Stingray box can call it and make it emanate. And make it emanate. Anyways, that's just a little, and I was testing out this little program here at the same time, so yeah, Moors and every other people, you know, we ain't in that hate stuff or separate. All right, that's why the world's in the way it is. What's this one now? Tracking our phones, how Stingray devices are being used by police. Canadian government officials say Stingrays and devices like it have never been authorized for use in Canada, even if some security agencies have already used them. What? Cat's out the bag. The controversial cell phone surveillance technology allow police departments and other authorities to spy on the cell phone. Hold on, baby. What?
To my desk.
To your desk, let me see. Okay, wait. Just let me finish this, all right, baby? Spy. Okay, so technology allows police departments and other authorities to spy on the cell phone activity of wide variety of citizens. How these devices work, where they come from, and how they are being used is a story of its own. Wow, look at this. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I gotta pause this to come back to you guys for a second, right? Okay, so I'm back. Again, excuse me, I just had to pause that. So what does it say? It says, okay, so what is a stingray or IMS eye catcher? So we already saw that. Let me just, your phone's radio will try to connect to the nearest, okay, we just heard that. Your cellular can't always figure out exactly where you are, but it has a rough idea based on the tower you are connecting to. How does it work? Okay, so I just want to know. As you all see, it's this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing now. Right? How do I bring up my? How do I get back now? Yep. This is what they're doing. What's up in the house? Is in there? Look at this. Anus horribilis. That's hilarious. What's going on in there? See these people? There's measles stuff again. Weirdos. Dirtbags. You want to put my hair in a ponytail? Oh, there's the elastic. Okay. Let me just put something on for you here. You want Peppa Pig?
No, I want Harry Potter.
Some more again?
No, the more Harry Potter.
Oh my. Okay. But why was it all blocked up just before? What was that all about?
I see the closet.
Did you? Anyways. So yeah, so
New Vocaloid.
that's what we're talking about, man. So that's basically that, man. Love your children. Don't be frying them with these cell phones. Freaking little microwave relay, heart relay. And love. Truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Yeah.